This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be making words with letters and then selling them and then possibly buying some patents with some of those letters and trying to make some economic money off of that. We're talking about Letter Tycoon here. This is a 2 to 5 player game. Takes about 30 to 45 minutes to play, has an economic aspect. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. In Letter Tycoon, you're trying to make money by creating words, both from cards in your hand, along with some general cards that anybody can use. And you'll make money when you do that, and you'll be spending that money to buy letter patents that you'll be placing in front of you and making money off during the game. And you're trying to reach a certain amount of patent money with a certain amount of players. It varies on the players to get towards the end of the game. On your turn, most of the time you'll be making a word. And to do that, you take any of the letters that are in your hand and you're going to use any of these letters. And so in this case, I'm going to make a word. I'm going to say D-A-Z-E, which doesn't seem like a great word, but hold on, say with me, D-A-Z-E. And when we look a little closer, it's 4 letters. So I look here and I say 4 letters, I will earn 2 money. So essentially I would take 2 coins, and the coins are cool in this game, they're like this, and I'd put it in front of me. And now I have $2, and I can buy a patent that's available for any one of the letters that I used here. And this shows you how much, this basically tells you how much the patent costs. So I only have $2 right now, so the only one of these that I could buy really is Z. So I could look over here and see if it's available. And since the beginning of the game, everything's pretty much available. You'll notice 3 different colors here. The greenish blue is essentially all consonants. The oranges are vowels, and then these clear sort of beigeish ones are ones that have special abilities. This one has a special ability. This Z basically says you may add an S to the end of your word. So for the rest of the game, I don't even need to have an S in my hand, and I can add an S to my word, which gives me another letter, which is really cool. It's going to give me a lot of money. Now, also, for the rest of the game, if anybody else uses a Z in their word, I will get $1 for every Z they've used from the bank, not the player. Now, I'll take the letters that I used and put it in a discard pile. And for this, I can actually decide to keep the letters in my hand or get rid of any of them. Maybe I get rid of the K. Okay, so I have 3. I can fill up this to 1 because anytime you use these letters, they go away. And so now there's letters there, 3 letters there, and I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I draw back up to 7 letters. Now these cards are always in your hand. They're secret, but for the video I was putting them down, and then it'll be the next player's turn. And they would continue to do a word and so on and so forth. If you can't make a word on your turn, for your turn you can discard as many cards as you want to the discard pile and draw back up to 7. That would be your turn. Now, words themselves, letters themselves, sometimes you'll get letters that offer you stock. Up to 6 and 7 letters give you 1 stock. For every additional letter after that, you earn additional stock. Now, stock essentially is points. They're denominations of 3 and 1 here. At the end of the game, basically this is end game points that you just get to bank. They don't do pretty much anything else, but they're good for end game scoring. Also, when making words, essentially they have to be at least 3 letters long. They can't be abbreviations or proper nouns or words. No words with apostrophes or hyphens and things like that. So those are sort of some of the things on words that you can and cannot use. So, and here's all the patents again. Now, if you had gotten a patent of T, anytime somebody uses the letter T, you would get $1 from the bank. So you want to buy up patents that either have special abilities or, like, you know, the really good letters. Now, because you'll be getting a lot of money for them at the end of the game or during the game. Now, each of these is going to be worth money at the end of the game as well. So I just bought this Z that was $2. This is $2 at the end of the game. Each one of these essentially is basically money at the end of the game. They're essentially points. Let's look at some of the other special ability cards here. If you have the V, you build 2 words. The X, you may use 1 letter card twice. Very useful. The Q, you may replace a card to start your turn. Essentially, at the beginning of your turn, you're going to be able to discard a card first and then draw, and then decide if you're going to build a word or just discard for your turn. K, you get to earn double if your word has only one vowel. J, earn double if vowels are at least half of your word. And B, earn double if your word begins and ends in vowels. And you can combine a bunch of these together. You can get two of these things that say double. If you do both of them, it quadruples it. Another cool thing is with the game, it doesn't do anything really, but they give you this cool little thing that tells you what letter each factory sort of is. For example, this B is a bottling plant. And that's why in B, we have a picture of a bottling cap. J is actually going to be a jail here, and the K is a kiln. So the J, jail, we have the justice, and the kiln is a cup. So it's just some cute artwork that kind of goes around thematically of what you're building in that factory that you have the patent in. Also, there's one really powerful card, a Q. When you use this, basically that whole word is double the amount of points. Also, look on the top right, it tells you how many cards there are of this. So for an E, this is 1 out of 12 of them, where Q, it's 1 out of 1. It's the only one in the game. There's also one more special card, the Y, which can be used as a consonant or a vowel, and this makes sense if you're using, one of the special abilities of, it talks about how many vowels there are. Once again, when you get patents, those are money. And in this case, in a 3-player, once someone has $34 in patents, essentially, and you need at least 5 patents as a minimum, what happens is everyone else after the starting player will get their last turn, and then essentially we count up all your points. And essentially points are basically the money on your patents, plus any stock you have, plus any money you have left over. And the one who has the most is the winner. If there's a tie, it's whoever has the most money in the patents. Now, a few more things here on the back of the scoring card is a letter thing that shows you how many of each cards there are. And you can actually challenge words as well. If you're the challenger, you don't think it's right, and it is right, basically you pay $1 to the person. If you don't have any money, the bank pays that person. If the word's not right, that player takes the cards back. Essentially, they return any coins or stocks they got from it. Then they have to discard one factory card from their hand and draw one from the draw deck to replace it, and their turn is over. Well, if you watch my videos, you know that I'm an engineer by day, so I'm really good with math and logic and deduction and puzzly type things. Words, not so much. But, so I typically don't love word games. I don't aspire to play them. I don't go out of my way to play them. But recently, there's been a few games that have come out that really have caught my attention with playing word games, and it's stuff I don't typically enjoy, but this is one I do. So if you're one of those people that's like, oh, I hate word games, try this one, because I really liked it. A bunch of things I like about it. Number one, it's very quick, easy, and streamlined. Like, the turns are pretty quick, because you're thinking about what you're going to be doing on your turn when it's other people's turn. Now, granted, they could grab some of those middle letters, so it could mess up what you're going to do, and you might have to, recalculate what you're going to do for your word. But overall, I like how it's quick. I like how it's very forgiving. With that being that, after I've made my word, I can discard as many cards as I want and draw back up. That's very, forgiving to the fact that if I don't know what to do with these letters, I'm not stuck with them and they're not clogging up my hand. So I like that it makes you, it's a little bit easier to make the words here. I really like the aspect of buying, trying to figure out what to make, and then trying to figure out, can I buy one of these patents and which ones? Get those ones with the special abilities earlier. Wow, that really opens up the game for the end. You try to buy letters at the beginning that are like very much used by other people, so those things are constantly making you money throughout the game. Sort of like a mini engine building game with word and economics. I really liked it. You have to make a word with 3 letters or more, which is cool because you don't have those cheap people making like those little 2-letter words like in Scrabble. So I like that. Overall, it's just great. So, and I played this with 2 people that love word games. I mean, they're on Words with Friends all day long. They've played other word games, and they also really liked it. And that was really cool to see that someone like myself, who does not like word games, really likes this game. And people that are really into word games also like this game. Again, it's that middle ground where it's got a little twist. It's enough there to keep you interested, enough things to think about, but yet not so convoluted and not so, not too many steps where it's like too complicated. Simple game, good. My depth to complexity ratio is how I rate games, and this is great on that. So whether you like word games or not, this is definitely one to check out. That's Letter Tycoon. And since I will be keeping this because of those reasons in my gaming library, let's induct this properly with a saxophone serenade.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.